Hey guys, Matt, IronTrap Garage, and today is paint day on the lift. So we got the lift stood up, we've run it up and down, we're pretty happy with how everything mechanically is working, and we need to get this thing, number one, in some sort of primer type product. So what we're actually going to end up using is kind of like my favorite product to use on like bare metal is Eastwood Rust Encapsulator. It works as a primer, it also kills rust. So the nice thing about it is you can brush it on quite easily. So we're going to actually be brushing that on because we're going to try and keep the overspray to a minimum. Now we're going to be spraying the lift more than likely in the end. I'm not quite sure yet, but we need to get this thing sealed up so that it doesn't get any more surface rust on it, and we're going to go over all the surface rust that is already present. The other thing we're going to try and do is get a motor figured out. We've been taking some measurements. We're going to try and get an electric motor put on this so that we can actually run this thing up and down with a switch, and once everything's painted, we can put a car on here and finally put it up and down and use it for what it's meant for. So let's get started.
Liberal.
Every square inch. Yeah. This, you're just trying to get it to cover enough that but I'm hoping actually if we only put one coat on the black, darken a little bit. Yeah. Black with undertone.
It always tries a hair darker than it is anyhow, so.
I'm not. But it's not like a custom paint mixed and still that. I just want to get it covered.
Right.
Honestly, if I didn't notice it in a video, I was going to do a photo. I would try to like black. It's pretty cool black.
Right.
It's done.
There we go.
All right, what do you think, Mike? Is it
It's blue.
It's blue?
Yep.
It's a little lighter than we wanted, but it is Ford
It's not
blue.
Washington blue.
It's not Washington blue. The can said Ford dark blue. That's what Eastwood had on there. I don't know if I call this dark blue.
Well, compared to their other Ford blue,
yeah,
it is darker.
It is darker than the normal other Ford blue. So I think when going over the black, it'll dry a little darker, but it'll be fine. It's lift blue is what it is.
We'll keep the lights down in this corner of the shop.
It's lift blue.
Lift blue, okay.
Yeah, so that looks good. I'm gonna let those guys paint and work on something else.
Got it. Well, there's probably these bolts right here. A brand new lock washer.
I don't know if this had lock washers or not. But those rubber things, that's kind of the lock washer. Because they push up.
Where'd your rubber donut go?
It's right here. Oh, we're gonna have to move this out on the shaft too.
A little bit, yeah. Well, once we get it, we can get it lined up and then do that later. Here, put that in this side. Actually, they're all pretty working.
There you go. That's how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So hold the lever up and let her down. Oh yeah, they work nice now.
Yeah.
Crazy.
You can. I can. It's just if the motor burns up, then.
It's Harbor Freight.
Okay.
I bought this motor and
Yeah.
it didn't work. Do I used to run it up, down all the way?
Yeah.
Are you still filming?
Yeah. I wonder if there's some lubrication needs to be done and it's binding a little bit. Because right now it's moving like.
Could be.
Cover's not all the way bolted down.
Oh boy. Am I gonna get electrocuted here?
Shouldn't. Alright. Oh.
I'll just take the jacket.
Watch the camera behind you.
Why don't you swing your...
Why don't I pull the front forward?
Alright, I'll let this down. Okay, and I can pull it back in. Alright.
Ready?
Yep. Got that looking. Let's go forward.
Ready?
Stop. Alright, that was a lot easier than I expected. Just watch that side, that's really...
We got space now.
So we want to head to the right.
Towards you. Ready?
Yep. Something bad. Just
Alright, hold that. We're up off the ground. Should we do a safety test?
oh yeah. other than the whole thing.
Yeah. Cables still look like they're wrapping right.
What do you think? Should we go up? How about that?
It's gonna be close. It's gonna tuck right behind the car, I think.
All right, let's give it a try. Working a lot easier than it did in Detroit. The sign's probably my biggest worry right now.
No, it's behind it. It's literally passing right behind the car.
Oh, okay.
We're clearing the heater.
Yes, I mean, it would have to hit the fender to...
A little bit. Hold that. You'll probably put the locks in.
I have
Oh, a little bit more. There you go.
Sitting on the locks.
We are on the locks, dude.
Yes,
Success.
it's crazy. So we were just talking, it was like less than a year ago,
10 months, basically.
this car and this lift were sitting in Detroit, basically untouched, and a lot of us, 99% of the world didn't know this car or lift existed, and now fast forward and we have
A restored lift with a rusty 32.
Rusty 32, not restored.
Priorities.
Restored
Priorities.
lift, repainted lift. But yeah, we got everything working. We still need to mess a little bit with the switch that we got and some of that stuff. We have to, some of the supplies we got weren't quite right. So just to get this thing up here and get it working, Mike temporarily wired it, but we're gonna, like he mentioned earlier, finish wire everything. But it's super cool. It's very surreal that this thing is sitting just up like this in my shop. And now, some young punk, many years from now, could maybe find this car sitting on this lift
In the same state.
in the same state. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's driving many, many years from now. But super psyched to have this lift. The last couple things I'm going to do is just put the Ford tag and there's a couple of tags back on it at the front. We'll finish the wiring, button all that up, get it running to the ceiling. But for now, it's really good. Now, one thing we did realize with this lift, it wasn't fully meant to be like a storage lift like you would see now. So in order for us to get like a hardtop car under here, like my Model A Coupe,
A channeled hardtop car.
well, any hardtop car, you need to have this lifted up quite a bit. So it has to go up. These slots go up quite far, like all the way to here. So we can go, what, another foot
Yeah.
up this thing could go, but we need to figure out a way to put like a lock on here that we can, drop it down on the lock. So we had this thing up with the coupe underneath it here, the Model A Coupe, and we had it up maybe, I don't know, not a lot more, but a little bit more. So if we could make some kind of lock even to do that, that would be really good. It has some sort of clutch built into the motor, we think, so that it can't just like spool down from the weight. So it would probably be fine, but obviously we don't want to just, for safety's sake, just leave it hanging off the lock, so with a car on it, obviously. So we have to figure all that out, which we will. Biggest thing is, like we were joking about, like, will the sign fit? Somehow the city service sign fit just barely.
We have
We
like
placed
6
it-
inches.
And I didn't measure any of this. This is just, and then the heater is perfect. With the way the lift is situated, basically we could fit most any old car like this on here, because basically the fender is what would hit the fender of the right front tire is what would hit the heater. So we'd have to be like much higher than this lift can go for that fender to even hit. So we should be totally fine with fitting anything. Even if we push a car pretty far underneath there, it shouldn't be a problem. But where it's situated right now is like perfect. I may move this sign eventually, because if we want to put something like the 39 Mercury or a car like that up here that's a little longer, it would hit that. But for now, with the configuration we have, it works really awesome. And we have one of my huge goals for this summer around the shop taken care of.
It's only September 2nd.
Only
We met your goal.
We're doing pretty good. That's one of the many goals, but this is one of the big ones. In preparation for wintertime, we wanted to get this lift set up so we could stash some stuff underneath of it when we kind of bolt everything and batten the hatches down for winter time, we have a little more room to move around in here, which is really good. So that is our finale of our two-part series of getting the Detroit lift put back up. That's from the original, Ford Dearborn plant lift is in this shop and put back together. Super psyched. Definitely a bucket list thing to have in the shop, these two items. So thanks guys for following along. Let us know what you think of the lift and the DeLorean Roadster up on the lift now in our shop. Thanks guys. Catch you later.